So hello and very good morning dear students. We are meeting after a very long time. I hope you all are fit and fine by the grace of God. So like when offline classes were there, we have started section C and we are about to complete the statistics, the first chapter of section C. Today we are going to start the new chapter, that is the second chapter, correlation analysis of section C. Okay, so for this you need to understand, or you must know the terms, the statistical terms, that is what is mean, what is variance, what is standard deviation. Okay, so these three things should be known to you. As I already told you that to measure the dispersions we use such type of tools. Dispersion, that means in the whole data, what is the dispersion, that means how much the data is dispersed, we try to find it with the help of the tools, which is the variance and the standard deviation. And I have told you that how the variance and standard deviation is formed. Okay, so now let us move ahead and understand the meaning of correlation analysis. So with the name, can you understand correlation? That means we need to form some relation here in this, and co means whenever we use co, that means we are talking about two. Okay, so till now, what set of observations we were having? We were having like the marks of the students, the separate height of the students, weight of the students, and we try to find the mean variance of that data. Now if I tell you that if you have two set of observations related, like say for example height and weight, expenditure and the income, demand and supply. So like if I'm giving you two independent variables, okay, and I'm asking you that what is the relation between them, what is the connection between them, or the correlation specifically. So we go on with the help of this correlation analysis. In this we'll study two types of correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient here means what is the process or what is the algorithm of solving. Okay, so here we'll start with first of all scatter diagram. What is the meaning of scatter diagram? Okay, so you can form the correlation, or like you can at least see what is the connection between the two variables by the scatter diagram. How? Let us say for example, if this is x-axis we are taking, and if this we are taking as y-axis. Okay, x-axis can be taken as an x variable and y-axis can be taken as some y variable, or like we can say height and weight we can say, or income and expenditure we consider, demand, and let us consider this to be supply. So with the help of their points we can form, like say for example if you are getting a scatter diagram like this. On the other hand, if you are getting scatter diagram like this, and similarly if you are getting the scatter diagram like this. So what is the meaning of all these three? This is the independent variable. This is moderate positive relation. And this is moderate negative relation. So what is the meaning of this three? That if you plotted two variables and you got such type of graph, it means here both the variables are very much independent to each other. That is why we are getting such type of graph. That means there is a very less connection between them. You plotted the graph and you got such type of diagram. This says that both the variables are somewhat connected in a positive relation. And here you plotted the graph and you got such type of graph which is going in negative. So here you can say that both the variables are connected moderately and they are negatively related. So with the help of scatter diagram we can form. And like if you are getting a graph like this or graph like this, so this is the perfect correlation. This is the perfect like relation, we can say the positive, and this is as the negative. Okay, so with the help of scatter diagram, the relation can be seen. Okay, then moving ahead, we have covariance of x and y. What is the meaning of covariance of x and y? Okay, so covariance, I told you, whenever the word co is used, you have to understand it in this way that there are two things related. Okay, so covariance, you know the meaning of variance. What is the meaning of, the simple meaning of variance is the variation in the data. Okay, so if you are asked that what is covariance, that means we are trying to see the variation between the two data. That means if you are given the two set of observations and if you are seeing the change or the variation in both, then we call that as the covariance. Okay, so there is a formula through the scatter diagram they have explained you. Please try to see that. Let us come to that formula. What is the formula for finding the covariance between x and y? Why we are studying this covariance? Because in the coming topics we will be requiring this definition, covariance. To find the correlation coefficient, we will be requiring the covariance between x and y. That is why in the first exercise they try to make you clear the picture of covariance here. The covariance of x and y, the formula is the covariance, and we denote like this, and we say covariance between x and y. So its formula is summation of x minus x bar, y minus y bar, whole upon the number of observations, where x minus x bar and y minus y bar is what? This is the deviation or the variation, or we can say the difference between the mean and each set of value. So x minus x bar, y minus y bar, whole upon n, where n is the number of observation. So this is what the formula is, and this is for the, now again you have two cases. If you have a primary data, then you will be using such formula, and if you have a secondary data, then you have to use different formula. For that you need to assume the things where di is equal to x minus x bar. So, okay, so for the secondary data, so this is for the primary data, and for the secondary data you need to assume, okay, where we assume some u or v, where u will be first we need to assume a mean. From that we need to subtract each class interval, we get u and v from both the data, that is from x and from y we need to assume u and v. So covariance between x and y for that case will be 1 upon u, 1 upon n, summation of xy minus 1 upon n. First of all, see, this is for the secondary data, and when you assume, the formula gets changed. Here in place of x and y, you will have to write u and v. Okay, so that is 1 upon n summation of uv minus 1 upon n summation of u and summation of v. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you, the formula part. Now let us come to the exercise part. See, in the exercise there are like 9 questions you have. Okay, they are just simple formula based questions. Okay, so let us do 1 or 2 questions in it. So if you can see this simple basic question, you are given with summation of xi 100, summation of yi 140, and summation of x minus 10, y minus 14 is equal to 16. You are given with n equal to 10. Then you will find the covariance between x and y. So I think a very simple way is you are directly given with this part, which is 60, and you are given with n also 60 upon 10, 6. Okay, so we don't need to use these two values. Okay, this may be an option, or else you can go with that formula also. Which formula? On multiplying these two and putting. So better we can go with this way, a simple formula based question. Okay, I hope you understood this. Okay, so now try to understand this question. I am taking question number 8 of this exercise. So the question is calculate the covariance of the following data. So this is what the data is you are given with this x variable and this y variable. So try to follow the steps. See, first what you need to do, you find the sum. What is the summation of xi? We are getting 45. With the help of this x bar we are finding, you know the meaning of x bar, which is mean. Okay, so summation of xi upon n, you got 5 as the answer, that x bar is equal to 5. And with the help of this y, you find the summation of 5, which is 61. So 61 upon 9 is 6.7. I'm taking approximate, that is 7. We can take like 6.7, 6.8, 6.9, 6.6 also you can take as 7. Okay, so we need to find two columns, that is x minus x bar in place of that I am writing 5, and y minus y bar, which is 7. So xi minus 5, xi means 1 minus 5 will give you minus 4. 2 minus 5 minus 3, 3 minus 5 minus 2, 4 minus 5 minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, you go for the yi also. Then you need to multiply these two. Okay, that is minus 4 into 9 minus 36 minus 3 into 2 minus 6. And you try to get this column. Why we are getting this column? Because we know the formula of covariance between x and y is summation of xi minus x bar and yi minus y bar whole upon n. That is why we are going to find x minus x bar and y minus y bar and its summation. And you know, if you go on for the summation, this minus 36 is cancelled by minus this positive 36. Minus 6 with plus 6. This 6 with here, this 6 with this one, and we got 0 is the answer. Now try to understand. See, we got this whole as 0, whole upon what is n? The counting. This is 9. Okay, 0 by 9 is what? 0 only. So how to interpret with this result 0 that there is no connection or the covariance between the two variables x and y. You know, you can, if you go through the data, see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And see this y 16, 9, 4, 1, 1, 1, 4, 9 and 16. There is no like covariance or relation between them. That is why the covariance between these two came as 0. This answer can be negative, it can be positive, it can be 0 also. So I hope you understood this. Now we are going to start the next important topic, that is Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. As I told you in the beginning, that there are two coefficients, that is Karl Pearson coefficient and Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. So first one we are going to take, that is the Karl Pearson's coefficient. This is also called the product moment correlation. I'll tell you how. What is the meaning of product moment? You know the meaning of product means you have to like multiply the two things. Now moment I will tell you. So let me just write the formula and all. Okay. So this is the Karl Pearson's correlation coefficient, which is denoted by R or P. You can call that as rho or sometimes sigma also. So rho xy, or you just mostly say R. So R is equal to covariance of x and y whole upon under root of variance of x into under root of variance of y. I told you that we'll be requiring the formula of covariance between x and y. So here you need to use that if you want to find the Karl Pearson's correlation coefficient. Okay, you know the meaning of correlation coefficient, that if we are trying to find the correlation between two, okay, so we use different formulas. Now we are studying about Karl Pearson's, which is given this formula and this concept is given by Karl Pearson. That is why the name it has the name Karl Pearson's correlation, also called product moment correlation. So product moment correlation means here, see, product moment. We are finding the product, that is x minus x bar, y minus y bar, and that you can call that as the moment. Okay, which is like statistical terms. If you go on for the higher studies of statistics, you will understand the meaning of moment there. Okay, so try to understand product moments mean there are the product of two things here. Okay, so covariance between x and y upon under root of variance of x into under root of variance of y, which can be understood as, we know the root over variance is nothing but the standard deviation, and root over variance of y is the standard deviation of y. So now on placing their values separately and on solving, we got this as the result in terms of x and y. Okay, so this is summation of x minus x bar into y minus y bar whole upon root over x minus x bar the whole square and root over y minus y bar the whole square. Now if you multiply these two, like x y bar, x bar y, and plus of this, and on solving these all this, we got this result, summation of xy minus 1 upon n summation of x into summation of y whole upon root over summation of x square minus 1 upon summation of x the whole square into root over summation of y square minus 1 upon n summation of y the whole square. Now for this formula, you need to have so many columns, you know, like if you have x and if you have y only, then you must know what is summation of x, summation of y. Then you must know what is summation of x into summation of y, which you can multiply. Summation of x square column you need y square column. Okay, so these two columns, and then you have to find its sum. Okay, and you on placing all the values here, we can easily get the value of r. Now one more thing in this. Now if your data is like a big data, so again you can do the substitution here. You can consider some u or v, and that u you can consider as xi minus like any value here which is totally your whatever you think. So u can be considered as xi minus a, and v can be considered as yi minus b. This a and b you can consider anything, and this formula transpose or it changes in terms of u and v. The things will be totally same, only you replace x with u. Here summation of uv minus 1 upon n summation of u into summation of v whole upon root over this totally same, this totally same, only here u will come and here v will come. Okay, so I have explained you the process, how to solve the question. Okay, let's do one question and then we'll finish this exercise. Okay. Alright, so students, before coming to this particular question, I need to share some important remarks regarding the correlation coefficient. Okay, so correlation coefficient, first you need to understand what is the measure of, like what is, how to measure it. So you need to understand that thing first. So as you know, the correlation, Karl Pearson's correlation coefficient or correlation coefficient is denoted by R. So when you get the answer, that means on solving the question, if you get the answer r is equal to something, so you should interpret from that result that what is the meaning of that answer. Okay, so we can understand with the help of three measurements, like if your r is in between 0.75 to 1, that means if the value of your r is between 0.75 to 1. See, always remember your r value will be from 0 to 1. That means like we say for the probability that the probability answer falls between 0 and 1. That means 0 can also be answer, 1 can be, and in between only be. So similarly here also this coefficient, its value will be from 0 to 1. So how are we dividing this 0 to 1? First of all, we are taking 0.75 to 1. Then we are taking 0.25 to 0.75. And then we are taking 0 to 0.25. Okay, these three scales we are taking. We have divided 0 to 1 in three parts. Okay, like say for example, if you have a stick, one end you consider 0, another end you consider 1, and in that you just divide it into 3. Okay, so from 1, then like if this is 0 and if this is 1, so you divide it by giving this as 0.25, 0.75, and this is 1. Okay, so if your value falls between this interval, you say it has a high degree of correlation. Okay, that means high degree of correlation means that they both are like highly correlated. If your value falls under this interval, we say that they are moderately correlated. correlated. Okay, that is the correlation between them is moderately correlated. And if your value falls under this, you say that they have a low degree of correlation. Okay, so that is what I am making an interval, that if this is, then we say this is a highly correlated, and if it is 0.25 to 0.75, then we say it is moderate, and if it is between 0 to 1, then we say it has a low degree of correlation. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, now the second remark is, if you square the correlation coefficient, then this is called the coefficient of determination. Okay, this is called the coefficient of determination. With this we determine the coefficient of correlation. Okay, and its value will also be in between 0 and 1. Okay, so just remember the name, coefficient of determination, that is r square. Okay, then we can say that if your r is equal to 0, that means there is no correlation, as of we got in the last question. Okay, that r is equal to 0 we got. Okay, so here also you have to say that there is no linear relationship between the correlation, that means between the two variables. You can read the fourth point also, that the correlation coefficient are highly abused by researchers and advertisers. They use this coefficient just to show its good thing, but it actually are not, because there are certain examples or the things where you may get the correlation, you may get a positive answer, but that may not be practically possible. Okay, so please read the examples from this. Now let us come to one of the questions I have written here already. Okay, so you have to write this remark in your fair copy. Okay, so let us come to this question. We'll understand this question, how the correlation coefficient works, and how to calculate and how to interpret also. So you only have these two variables given in the question, this x and this y. So first of all, let me write what is the formula. The formula for that is summation of x bar minus summation of x 1 upon n summation of x summation of y whole upon under root of summation of x square minus 1 by n times of summation of x the whole square into root over summation of y square minus 1 by n summation of y the whole square. This is the formula. Now in this formula you have to you need to know what is summation of xy, summation of x, summation of y, summation of x square. That means the summation of x square. See, these two are very different. Summation of x square is not equal to summation of x the whole square. Understand the meaning? See, I made a column of x square and then I sum it. I got summation of x square. And what is summation of x the whole square? I got summation of x is 38. So its square is different. So please don't confuse between the two. So from this formula, I have made this three column of x square, y square and xy. Okay. So x square you can see summation of x square we got on squaring the x, and on squaring the y I got this column and I just sum it. I got this answer. And we need summation of xy also. Okay, so I multiplied these two columns and got xy, and on summing it we got summation of xy as 499. Now you have all this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these 5 values. Let us place here. So summation of xy you have 499 minus here 1 upon, see this n is the total, this is 8. Okay, so we can write n is equal to 8. Then summation of x into summation of y. Summation of x is 38. This is 94. So 38 into 94 whole upon root over x square. This is 220. So already given. We have already found. Sorry. 1 upon n. Summation of x the whole square. This is 38. So 38 the whole square whole upon 8 and into root over summation of y square. This is 1160. So 1160 minus summation of y is 94. So 94 the whole square upon 8. Now this is a calculative part which is totally yours. Okay, so I am keeping it for you to answer this question to me. So this is the question and you have to answer me that what will be the answer, and interpret that it is highly correlated, moderately correlated, or it is having a low degree of correlation. That you have to answer me. So in such a way the question will be done. Now like if say for example your data is 60, 20, 40, 90 and here also 130, 80, 120, then you can go with the help of U and V. Okay, so you have to make a column U is equal to xi minus, you consider any of the value from this whole column. Let us consider 40. So xi minus 40. Okay, so now your question will be converted into UV. Then you have to find U square, V square, U into V, then their sum, and the formula format is totally same. So I hope this is clear to you. Please try to do the exercise because it is a formula based exercise and I know you all can do. So in the next lecture, I'll come up with the next topic, that is Spearman's rank correlation coefficient, and this chapter will be finished. Okay, so thank you so much. Have a nice day and keep learning. Thank you.